There are going to be times when you really want to ramp up the quality of the lighting in your scenes, and just relying on Blender's default lighting is not necessarily going to give you the results you want. And that's where high dynamic range imaging comes in, or as it's more commonly known as HDRI environments. So in this case, you can see I have an example one in a Blender scene here, and I just have these free spheres here with materials, and it's in rendered view, and the lighting that's being cast on here looks really realistic because it's this HDRI environment, by the way, which is free. I'll get to that in a second, which you can load into Blender, super simple, and it gives you a few controls that are very simple to use. And even if you're a beginner, this is something that you could really super easily do, and you'd be amazed how much you can actually add to a scene that otherwise might have just been lacking that little extra bit of detail or realism that you didn't know it actually needed. So if you're a beginner, you don't really know what HDRIs are, you've never heard of them, and you don't know how to import them to Blender, this is something that's super important, and it can really help take your materials or whatever you're working with as far as your models go to that extra step of realism. So let's actually get right into where you can get yourself a HDRI. No point in showing you this if you can't follow along. So go over and open up the internet, and you can see here I have this site here which I'll put in the description below. It's called HDRIhaven.com, and it's got all of these really good quality high dynamic range imaging here, and you can download in any one of these that you want, and they're all free. So for example, if I click on this one here, you can see it's going to open up a preview. You can see this one, for example, is an indoor scene. It gives you some example shots down here of what it might look like on these different materials. And over here you can see it's anything from 1K to 16K. Now these are not PNGs or JPEGs. These are a specific kind of file called HDRI files. And the bigger ones can take a little while to download, and they are a little bit bigger because they contain more information. But I would recommend, especially if you're actually going to be seeing the HDRI, to not go under anything below 4K. So for me, I just went as an example and I downloaded a 4K one. To be specific, I downloaded this one here, which I thought was pretty interesting. 100% free, no account needed. So go ahead and download a HDRI image. And I just put one of those onto my desktop. As you can see, this here is the file, and what we're going to do is we're just going to close Blender here because this is just my example scene, and I'm just going to open up Blender fresh just to show you what you would do. So just as a super quick example, let's just use the default cube here. I'm just going to go to my modifiers. I'm just going to give it a subdivision surface modifier and just bump the levels here to 5 or something like that. You can also just hit Control 5 and it'll do the same thing. And let's just go to Object and enable Shade Smooth. Essentially, we have an object here that's round. And let's also just hit 0 to go into camera view. And then if we hit Shift A, we can add in a plane. And we're going to go G, Z, and just bring the plane down underneath like that. Now we just have a little scene here. And instead of adding in lights, we're going to skip lighting, and we're going to go now to the next thing and just enable a renderer here. So in this case, I'm just going to enable ambient occlusion and screen space reflections. This isn't relevant to the actual HDRI. This is just so we can see how it looks like on a surface. So once you've enabled that with Eevee or cycles, if you want to, you can enable cycles. Just go over into your shading workspace up here. Make sure you're in the camera view. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go over to this tab here called the World Properties. So if you click on World Properties, which I did here, you can go over here to the color. Now by default, most of us will probably be familiar with just coming here, especially if you're new to Blender, and adjusting these sliders here, adding colors or whatever. But if you don't want to rely on that as your only form of lighting, you can click on this little tab here, and you're going to see an option under textures here because we're dealing with a texture. Environment textures. You can actually click on that environment texture, and it's going to open up this little section here, and you can click on open, and you can go to wherever. In my case, it's a desktop, and there it is, that EXR file, which is the HDRI. I can click on that, and I can open that image. Also, if you want to, over here where you usually work with your materials, you can come and change it from object to world, and you'll get these exact same nodes here. Essentially, this node here and this information here is the exact same things you see over here. If I click on the file here to go to my desktop to get a HDRI, it's the exact same thing as clicking on here. If I adjust the strength value here for the brightness, it's the exact same as doing it over here. Now there are a few more nodes I would recommend adding. If you go over to Edit, Preferences, you can go over to your add-ons and then type in here Node, and then enable the Node Wrangler down here by ticking it. Then if we select this image texture node here, we can hit Control T or Command T on a Mac, and it's going to add in these extra nodes. That now gives us the ability to grab this rotation vector here, and we can mess around with them to rotate our HDRI. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to hit Z, and I'm going to go into my rendered view over here. And now we can actually see the HDRI here in the background. And now we can come here, come to the rotation vectors, and we can rotate these vectors to control where our lighting is coming from and how the HDRI is positioned in our world space. So you can mess around with these sliders. Usually it's advised only to mess around with the bottom slider, especially if you're going to be seeing the HDRI. You want it to kind of be level with whatever is in your scene. And most HDRIs, if not all of them, will be captured, if they're captured properly, on a nice level plane surface like this. So let's just go back into camera view, make sure we hit Z, go into rendered. And now if we just select our sphere here, let's just go back over to the objects, because we're working with an object now, not our world environment. We can just come over here, and because it was a cube originally and we subdivided it, it should have a default material. If not, just click new, or come over here and click new over here. So there's plenty of ways to do that. And let's just come over here to the metallic slider under the principled, drag it up, and then drag down that roughness. And now we got a bit of reflectivity here. We can also just grab this plane down here and go new, and maybe just make the base color a little bit darker and make that a little bit more reflective, just so we have something interesting to look at. And now you can see that lighting there is being cast onto the sphere. And we can just go back to our world settings here, and we can adjust this Z value here, and you can see what's happening. So that is how simple it is to add HDRIs to your whatever you're working on. It could be anything, and it really is a lot more realistic than just having normal lights. That being said, there's nothing wrong with just going Shift A, going to your lights and adding in a light. Sometimes you can still rely on just default lights to kind of assist or help out the HDRI, but definitely it's something fun. And one thing to keep in mind is whenever you're working with HDRIs, whatever scene you're working on, if you're working with an indoor scene, by all means use an indoor HDRI. If you're working in a forest scene or you're doing some sort of sci-fi thing, maybe do space, it really comes down to what you're working with. If you're doing like cooler weather, try and get a HDRI that was captured when it was kind of overcast, cloudy, a bit bluer. If you're doing something deserty, make sure to use a HDRI that has a lot more orange tones or yellows like that. So these are just some basic things you want to keep in mind about HDRIs, how they work. And if you're a beginner, I hope this has made sense of it. I hope you now know how to set all of this up. And just, yeah, once again, this site over here, go ahead and check it out, hdrihaven.com. By the way, they also do textures. There's texturehaven.com, the exact same people who run all of that, and you can feel free to make a donation. They really do incredible work for the community for free, and it's just incredible assets. So I'll see you guys next time for another tutorial, and stay safe.